The views and opinions expressed on the following program do not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of Nash Community College, the Board of Trustees of Nash Community College, or the North Carolina Community College System.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
Anything for my princess.
I am serious, and don't call me Shirley.
I said, milk 'em. I barely even have any. But guys, how you doing? This is Isaac Anderson.
I am Tyler.
And over there we got...
Oh.
Hold on, we caught him off guard. Over here we got...
I'm Chris.
We got Mr. Christopher Darkins over here.
Host of Game On.
Game On, from Game On. Yes, you always got to plug your show.
89.1 FM every Thursday from 1 to 2.
Oh, you can't introduce your show before you introduce my show. Hold on. I mean, we're on Big Bang Cinema.
Well, that is your fault, sir.
Okay, well, yeah, I won't call on you anymore. You're just going to sit in the corner quiet next time. But anyway, this...
I feel offended.
Oh, yeah, you should. But this is Big Bang Cinema, guys. It's a movie show where we talk about movie news.
Movie reviews.
You were late on that and everything in between. Man, you came up with that. You should know this.
I was going to draw it out for emphasis.
Oh, yeah.
And you're talking about me getting caught off guard.
I think you respond a little bit faster than Tyler. It's kind of like the opposite of the speed of sound.
Well, I think you're too fast. That's the problem.
Too fast? I think that was that was furious. I mean, you failed joke. Okay,
yeah.
But guys, anyway, we're gonna talk about some movie news right now.
I try to comprehend what's going on. I'm trying to translate everything you're saying in my head.
Well, it's
into slow.
Well, we're gonna try to go to it.
All right.
Let's speak about desperation. Movie Pass.
What? No, you mean that system that has failed dramatically? That was too big to fail?
Well, I wouldn't say it was too big to fail, but we'll get into that a little bit. Bruce Willis is going to be starring in a movie that is produced by Movie Pass.
Is it about him getting a Movie Pass that he pays the money for it to go watch a movie and it doesn't work anymore?
No.
Is that what the movie's about? And he hunts down the person responsible for it?
So the company that just lost a bunch of money is going to produce a movie.
I think you have this wrong, Chris. They didn't lose a lot of money. They didn't have any money to begin with.
Yes. I'm sorry. The company that didn't have any money is going to produce a movie.
Yes.
This
great choices.
It sounds like something off The Office, man.
Yeah, well, so for those that don't know, Movie Pass is a subscription service that you pay $9.95 a month. You see unlimited movies for the whole month for that. Well, I'm getting to it. I'm getting to it.
Not quite, sir.
Well, it was like this until about 2 weeks ago when that whole company kind of went to pot and they changed their terms of service twice, and now you can only see 3 movies a month for $9.95, which is still pretty good.
And you can't use it on days that begin with a T or during the months that end with R.
Well, you can't see new releases with it anymore. You have to wait at least 2 weeks for them to go out, and sometimes you have to pay an extra fee in order. They're changing all the time, and basically it's a very unreliable business model, from what I understand.
And it can't be a movie that's got Will Smith in it.
And they've been on rocky terrain for the longest time. I'm a subscriber myself, but them making a movie, starting movies, like they're doing the Amazon route, where they start with one thing.
Here's the thing between them and Amazon. Amazon has capital. Mm-hmm. Movie Pass has no capital. So apparently no money, movie, money. But there's no transition here. You have to have money, movie money. That's how the formula works. No money.
Essentially, simplification is just...
See,
Amazon successful.
Yeah.
Yes.
Movie Pass, not so much.
Well, you see, Amazon turned a profit ever before they ever, started making movies. It's like, okay, we did this well, let's try this. And if this doesn't work, we can always go back to the other thing. Movie Pass is like, well, the last thing we didn't work, we don't have any money. Let's do the most expensive thing ever.
And let's bake it all on this. They're betting the house and the ponies on this right now.
They are. And I don't know. Bruce Willis, I like his movies for the most part. I mean, granted, he's done some stinkers like everybody else. But, I mean, the dude's an action star. I mean, they got a big name.
But I've heard the Hudson Hawk, too.
What?
Wait, what was that movie?
I don't know, man. Where are you going with this?
No. What was that? What was the
Do you know the Hudson Hawk, Chris?
Is it Hudson Hawk? Oh my gosh, it was so bad. The one where he was a spy.
I don't know, but yeah, And interesting to see what's going to happen with that. And nothing could go wrong in that.
Guardians of the Galaxy. Oh, speaking of things going wrong.
Yeah, because you got to introduce it first. You can't just go into it, okay?
Speaking of Guardians of the Galaxy 3 may use James Gunn's script, and everybody might remember James Gunn as the disgraced former Disney director who was fired after someone digged through his past after he declared that people should be held accountable for what they put on Twitter.
Yes, and we've talked about James Gunn quite a lot on the show. Yeah. I think most everybody watching this has at least heard about it. If, like, in case you don't know completely, James Gunn got on the bandwagon. It's like, you got to be held responsible for what you put on Twitter, Roseanne. You know, you should be fired for what you put on Twitter. If you put something offensive on there, someone dug up his past, and he had
the Queen Mother load of like. I mean, it was probably like if I was looking for gold and his horrible tweets for gold, and I found those, I would be a billionaire. That's how horrible and offensive they were.
Well, they were just lame jokes for the most part, but he got fired for them.
I wouldn't say lame jokes. They were unfunny.
They were unfunny jokes.
Unfunny, extremely offensive. And by extremely offensive, I mean things I can't even mention on television.
Well, most people know about him, but like he got fired. There was a big petition by the cast to try to get him rehired. They all signed a paper saying, you know, he's not a bad guy. You know, he made a mistake. Or like, you know, he's not a perv. You know, like we want him back on set. We won't. You know, Dave Bautista even said, I'm not going to do the movie unless they use a script. And I mean, that's one of their biggest stars. I mean,
hello, Triple H.
Yes, they're going to get Diamond Dallas Page like we had on the show last week. I don't think he's up for it. He's not quite in shape according to that video. But yeah, so it's really reported now that they're probably going to be using a script. Chris, like you like the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, don't you?
Have you seen them?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course he's seen them.
Of course I've seen the Guardians of the Galaxy.
He doesn't live under a rock.
Oh.
Like even my mom knows what the Guardians of the Galaxy
is. The funny thing is I'd actually heard the opposite. I heard they were throwing out James Gunn's script.
See, there's conflicting reports now. Like I've seen using James Gunn's script, not using James Gunn's script. Let's just take it as it's up in the air 50-50. What do you think they should do?
See,
I mean,
replace him with Sean Gunn.
No.
Well, it depends on if he had already written a full script.
I believe he had. He was like ready to go in production. Basically.
Well, if he had already written a full script, then I think like they should probably use his script. It's like just because. I mean, it's like just because they don't have him and like just because they fired him doesn't mean and had painted that sort of picture of him doesn't mean that he did bad work. Like he obviously did good work. The movies were successful.
Yeah, they were very successful. They're like some of the best like financially and like critically out of the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think personally they should use a script. I mean, I'm not an executive. I am not a high up in Disney. I've never worked any of that kind of stuff. I'm just a fan. I love the art.
Soul, man. You can't work for Disney.
Well, yeah, I can't see anybody else writing one of these things. If anybody else does it, like the only people that we know could do it of any quality is the Russo brothers, because when you watch Infinity War, it's like watching part of Guardians, But what you learn that James Gunn did a lot of the writing for that, like for that little part of the movie.
Yeah, you're like, oh, okay, maybe they do need him.
Like, in a way, James Gunn's writing and directing, specifically his writing and the way he writes his characters, is very integral to the way that these movies act. Do you think that if they just got, like, a guy that's doing a job, like they got, a writer off of Craigslist or whatever?
What it's going to be is it's going to be some obscure director from either Denmark or Norway or Germany.
You're probably right, or Ron Howard. I personally think that if they don't use James Gunn's script, what would happen is you're going to see like 17 ghostwriters. It's going to be, remember this from the other movies you like? A nonsensical plot that's too stupid to be anything convoluted. And a really generic villain and kind of okay phrases, and we'll try to tell ourselves, it was okay.
Mm-hmm. And the whole thing is you're probably going to get a recast or recast of maybe a character or two.
Bautista already said he wasn't going to come back. So I mean, I don't know. I'm excited. Anyway,
excited about not seeing Bautista again.
Well, I'm excited to see what's going to happen.
No one's excited to see Bautista leave.
I don't want to see Batista leave. He's one of my favorite parts. Yeah. But speaking about leaving, Johnny Depp.
What?
His movie City of Lies has been pulled from the release calendar of his distributor for this movie. And in case you don't know, City of Lights. Yeah, Lights is a completely different story. Lies and Lights are completely different. City of Lies is a movie based on the guy that was investigating the death of Biggie Smalls. Or no, Notorious B.I.G. I guess he's Biggie Smalls.
No, they're the same person.
Yeah, they're the same person. Yeah, I'm in the rap game, son. But he investigates what happened when he got shot, and he thinks there was a police cover-up with it. And it was they wrote a book about it, and it was a big bestseller. So they made a movie, too. And they just decided recently, I think it was like 2 days ago, that they weren't going to release it because Johnny Depp apparently is just a huge jerk. Yeah. And he caused like extreme turmoil on set for this whole film.
Yeah, but I mean, it'd be disrespectful for the memory of such a great man. And by that, I mean Johnny Depp's whole career.
That's great. Okay. Well, yeah, I don't know how much you know about the whole movie.
I know about somebody drove up and shot Biggie Smalls.
Well, no, about the movie.
And Suge Knight did it.
Suge Knight? Oh, no, he ran over some dude recently. He's in prison. But as far as this movie goes, how do you feel about like them canceling this movie like with one of the biggest stars in Hollywood?
See, you use that term, but I don't think you know what it means, one of the biggest stars in Hollywood.
Well, I think that's fair. Yeah, Chris, do you agree that Johnny Depp is one of the biggest celebrities in Hollywood?
Yes. He's one of the most recognizable names. Yeah.
Like, everyone knows who Johnny Depp is. He's recognizable. He might not be where he was back in, like, the late 90s.
Well, okay, everybody knows Nicolas Cage. You say that makes him one of the biggest stars?
Yes. That's what it means. That's what being a star means, is being recognizable.
No, okay, because there's infamy and there's fame and infamy. I mean, which one are we going at with here?
He's one of the most recognizable names. How about that?
That's one of the most infamous names, so let's leave it at that.
Okay, well, as far as City of Lies, the movie about Biggie Smalls getting shot and the investigator that's trying to figure out what happened if there was a police cover-up with it. Like, why do you think that like they would pull a movie like this that's like a surefire way of getting people in the theater with Johnny Depp?
Because either one, somebody's probably got a lawsuit about it. Either two, I would probably say it's that whole. No, it couldn't be because they're still doing Grindelwald movie.
Forrest Whitaker's in it too.
Forrest Whitaker. I'm trying to find a. Maybe it has something to do with him beating his wife.
Maybe. Dude, that tends to sink the ship a little bit, doesn't it?
It does. I mean, maybe, but that was a while back.
Yeah, I mean, that was back when Pirates came out. I mean, and they still released that.
Maybe it's because it's what's what I'm looking for? Unsubstantiated claim of murder towards somebody who's actually alive.
I don't know about all that. I just personally think that like Johnny Depp just probably was kind of a hard to deal with. I imagine as far up as you get in these kind of things, like when you become such a big star like Johnny Depp, you have a lot of creative control about the movie that you're in.
I think I have an idea what's going on with this. Maybe if they do release it, things will surface that happened during this movie, and they don't want to deal with that.
I'm thinking that's it too, because I mean, like the stories that we've talked about, but. Who knows? I kind of wanted to see this movie after the trailer. I mean, it's a shame it's not going to come out.
Because I believe they've already done the Biggie Smalls movie.
Well, what?
You can only see him get shot so many times.
Yeah, it's kind of like seeing Bruce Wayne's parents get shot.
It is, because they see him die like every movie. A whole bunch of new Thomas Waynes and Martha Waynes.
Well, speaking about things dying, the Oscars.
Oh! High five on that one right now. Bam! Oh! Are you okay? Did that hurt?
The only thing that hurts is everything in my life.
Oh my gosh! I've been talking about this for days now.
Okay, so the Oscars have included a new category, and no, it's not Turn Off the Television Award because trust me, everyone would.
Oh man, you want to roll right now? You want to roll? Oh,
I don't know if that was a roll. I think
Bird! That was a third degree right there.
Third degree. Well, they included a category that has popular movies in it. And they want to give popular movies awards because...
Shall I translate this?
Yeah, go ahead.
It means that we don't want to give Black Panther Movie of the Year award, but we don't want to get in trouble for not giving Black Panther Movie of the Year award, so we're giving it the Popular Movie Award.
I'm kind of with you there. I hate to say it, but it's totally probably right.
Yeah.
Chris, have you heard about this? The Oscars putting the popular movie category in?
I heard a little bit about it.
Okay.
It seems ridiculous.
It is.
Why does it seem ridiculous? Like, before we go any further, the Oscars like have always kind of shunned away from like the big blockbusters, and they've always gone to like the projects mostly for like writers and directors or like actors showcases.
What I got is that they tend to try to stay away from the mainstream.
I think it's more so just like the art pieces that you're trying to tell
kind
the
of
stories.
like we chose Moonlight. I bet you've never heard of it, but yeah, we all like Moonlight, so yeah, we're giving that the award.
Well, I mean,
that's what I'm getting.
Those are the kind of movies that like they just stray towards. Like, why do you think it's weird for a movie award show to award popular movies?
Because ding ding ding, they're losing viewership because no one cares
I'm not
about
saying
the movie.
it sounds weird. I'm saying it sounds ridiculous because it sounds something akin to just saying which movie has the highest, like, say, Rotten Tomato score or something like that.
Yeah,
like,
it's very kind of...
Like, which movie has the highest overall rating?
No, I'm not
Let's go
saying
with
it's
that.
weird. I'm saying, like, so many people are saying, like, it's such a weird choice that they would do this
See,
and not
it's
do
not-
it before this.
I'm saying it's not a weird choice. It just seems ridiculous.
I mean, how are they going to choose? Is going to be how much money the movie made?
What
how much
has the highest? What has the highest average rating is pretty much what it's going to be. Probably.
Is it going to be the highest viewer score? Are people going to come in and vote for the Oscars for it?
I think it's going to be more so just like the
how
big
much-
blockbuster.
How much money did it make? We have the Russo brothers come out there next year talking about, yeah, when we made this movie, yeah, we were all about making that money, and they accept their popular award Oscar.
Yeah, I think it's
And then
more...
they unwrap it and eat the chocolate that's inside the award.
You're never going to get over that picture that someone posted, are you?
Yeah, I'm never going to get over it. I want an Oscar so I can eat the chocolate inside of it.
But as far as kind of like that whole award thing, like, I get it. It's definitely a desperate attempt for viewership. But I think it's also kind of like, you know, for so many years, like there's so many great blockbusters that come out, like as far as like superhero movies go, and there's really bad ones.
See, and honestly, I feel like a Film of the Year award should be something that paves the way for future filmmaking. I mean, when you go back and you look on milestone films, a lot of these movies had either were only nominated or had no nominations in with themselves. I mean, you could say they were industry-changing films. So I mean, and people go back and see this. I think people are beginning to notice that these movies they're giving the awards for, they don't care about.
Yeah.
I mean, why invest their time into a movie they didn't even want into a television program about something they didn't even invest their time in for the movie? I mean,
Yeah, I don't know. But guys, I'm really curious to hear what you guys have to say. You can leave a comment on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Studio67NCC. We would love to hear what you guys have to say on that platform. But guys, we're going to take a really quick commercial break. When we come back, we have a really fun segment that ties into a few movies that you've probably heard about or seen in the last few weeks. So stay with us.
It's time to pursue your career in veterinary medicine. Nash Community College now offers an Associate in Applied Science degree in Veterinary Medical Technology. This is your chance to become a registered vet tech and work with a variety of animals. Learn about radiology, client education, animal wellness, treatment, laboratory techniques, anesthesia, and more. Now accepting applications. Call 252-451-8390 or visit nashcc.edu/VMT today.
That looks like a great program. Guys, how you doing? This is Isaac Anderson.
no, Tyler.
Over there, we got Mr. Christopher Darkins running the camera from Mr. Game On. Well, Mr. Game On. Game On. I gave your, I assumed your show's gender. I'm really sorry. But, yeah, anyway, you're watching Big Bang Cinema. We thank you so much for staying with us. Or if you just joined us, thank you so much for joining me. But, guys, a lot of movies have been coming out recently that have been based on some old properties. And we thought it might be fun to go through some old properties ourselves and see if they can hold up on a film level. So this is a segment that we call Old Premise, New Screen. So this is TV shows from the olden times of 1970s, not really olden times, but
No, they're old times.
yeah, but that is. It's like 40, 50 years ago almost now. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. But they're basically TV show premises and that were very popular back in the day that could make it onto the big screen today and actually be of quality. Because Mission Impossible and The Equalizer are both shows from way back when that have been turned into films, and they've become quite successful. So Tyler actually recommended this segment, and because he has an idea that he's been pitching to me for at least a month, and he's about to say it. I know you're very excited. So Tyler, what old television show would make a good film?
Quantum Leap. Quantum Leap, in the film you have Scott Bakula, or Count Bakula as I like to call him. During a scientific experiment in the future, a machine explodes that was used to monitor time, it just explodes. So he gets thrown. His consciousness and body gets thrown into other people's through different eras. But he is there. He has to solve a breakdown in time. He has to, because these were important moments in history, but they were everyday people, and he has to figure out what he needs to do inside these people's bodies to make sure things go exactly how it's supposed to go.
Oh, okay.
So that's like jumping into a guy from World War II who just happened to be a key figure during.
That sounds painful, jumping into a guy from World War II.
It's like bam, jumping. It's like my mind jumping into your mind, taking over your body. Like.
I know, it just.
And then once he's done, he goes on to the next one. He keeps trying to do it until he gets back home. And then he has an assistant who's tracking where he's going, and he could broadcast a hologram and kind of give him help, like during this is what happened. This is the person's name. Maybe you need to do this or whatever.
Yeah. Now, what about this show makes you think that it would be a really good movie? Because I've never watched the show personally. I know what it is. I know how it is.
If it would be like a good movie, like you have somebody jumping into World War II for a few minutes, and then bam, he's like medieval. Bam, then he's somewhere between his future and our future. It's it's like Cloud. It'll be like Cloud Atlas, but with the same character each time.
That's kind of nuts.
Yeah.
I'd say, what is your movie pitch for this movie? If you went into a movie office and said, pitch us the Quantum Leap movie that was going to make $1 billion, what would be it?
Fantasy, sci-fi.
No, the story. What's the story like? Scott Bakula gets trapped in this time and he's got to find his way out. It's something like that.
Yeah,
where would you want to see the movie take place?
Oh no! Different points in history.
Yeah, but what's the story of it though?
He's keep jumping until he gets back home.
So basically nothing different from the television show.
Pretty much.
But it's just really condensed.
Yeah, it's like bam, boom, 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 boom. So it's like and each time it's like he's really it'll be like I would say Cloud Atlas, where it really didn't have much of a going on, but it was just different stories each time.
I can almost feel like this would be a better linear story, just kind of you start with him getting lost kind of thing, and then you go through maybe 3 big set pieces, and that's about it. And I don't know. I'm curious to hear what you guys have to say, so leave a comment on our Facebook page. So, for my choice, this is a show that I was really into back when I was a little younger. They rebooted it recently, by recently I think about half a decade ago or a decade ago. But I'm talking about the show, it's called V. V was on ABC back in the early 80s.
Yeah, that was way back in the day.
And the whole premise of the show is this alien race that we just call the Visitors come to Earth. They look all friendly. They seem all friendly. They're super nice, everything. But it's not all like it seems. And it seems like a generic premise, and that's because it is. But there's a little bit more to the show. You have elements of these aliens have been here before kind of thing. You have these kind of elements of, there's some fascist kind of commentary in there too, of kind of this utopian society kind of thing. And the performances they're okay. And a lot of it was plagued by bad production value. And it was really interesting. It was a mini-series, actually. It didn't get on too long. But they rebooted it recently. I think it was in 2011 when they did. And I didn't think the show was as good, but I was really, really into it because the concept of it was really nice. There was they had a rebellion, something called the Fifth Column, where one of the aliens actually led the rebellion against that, and they're actually lizard people underneath, as you saw the photo. Like, that's really interesting to me. Like, the whole premise of this and all the elements of, like, all these kind of, like, not heavy-handed allegories, but, like, it's a nice little allegory for, like, all these kind of governments that are trying to, like, have these kind of societies back in the 40s and 50s, but, like, in reality it's kind of messed up. It's not what it seems to be. At least that's what I took out of it. In a movie form, I think this would be really nice. A 2.5-hour psychological kind of thriller about how these aliens are trying to secretly take over. There's something called Bliss in the new series that they had. I don't know if it's in the old series. I can't remember. But where they basically can control the humans all at once like that. An interesting concept. They never went with it much in the show because it got canceled, and I think the writers knew that, so they killed off all the characters in the show. That's a funny episode if you watch it. It's like the most bonkers episode of television ever. But I think there's a really awesome potential, like a David Fincher directed this. Keep it kind of small, almost like a television show, but kind of condense the narrative into something that's almost like a really nice allegory for something. But
so Drew's just let me know that apparently in the 80s they actually made a movie with a similar I can't think.
Was it
Premise?
They Live?
Premise, yes.
Was it They Live?
no, it was
Yes,
not.
it was They Live.
It was They Live, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean,
Because as soon as he's talking about it, I'm like, yeah, this is They Live.
oh, like when he puts the shades on and they're not what they seem to be.
Yeah.
And he's all out of bubble gum. I understand. I don't think it's the same thing. I think this is going to be more of like
So it's similar premise.
and the satire on the utopian government kind of thing is more of They Live, but still like a David Fincher-esque psychological thriller on this premise. I think would be really nice.
I think Wes Craven got to this before you did.
No, it wasn't Wes Craven. It was the guy that directed The Thing.
Oh, yeah, it was John Carpenter.
Yeah, I couldn't think of his name. John Carpenter. Yeah, Escape from New York, all that stuff. But guys, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it.
Any ideas, Chris?
Yeah,
Anything coming to
Chris didn't
mind?
have any ideas. I was just curious. Do you have any ideas? Any of you?
I didn't really have any ideas because like all the shows I could think of, it's like I watch a lot of anime, so it's like all the shows I could think of, they also have just a lot of this character development and stuff that would all just have to be like thrown out the window, and it's like it just wouldn't work as well.
Or
Good example, Death Note.
I give you your idea for you. Kung Fu would have been a good one.
Kung Fu?
Kung Fu. Now I'm saving this for an honorable mention because this is a wallop right here.
Okay.
Old West but this it resolves in the Old West, but starts in ancient China, and there was a Shaolin monk, and the Shaolin monk. I saw the beard. Shaolin monk, and he has a Chinese mother and a white parent, but he was raised in a Shaolin temple, and his mentor and master, pretty much his father, the man who raised him, is murdered by the emperor's son. Out of revenge, he kills the emperor's son, and he gets a death put on his head. So he escapes, goes to America to try to find the family he never knew about. And as he travels through the West, he pretty much sees situations.
If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, you can go to facebook.com/Studio67NCC. Figure it out. No, it's nice and everything. It's just like we only have 30 minutes for the show.
30 minutes. So I got 30 minutes to plot through my idea.
No, we're down to like the last few minutes, man.
I was going to use my last few minutes to talk about it.
It seems interesting. We do it on another show, I guess. But guys, thank you so much for watching. Next week on Big Bang Cinema Quick Flicks, we are going to be reviewing Black Klansman, the Spike Lee joint that comes out tonight, I think. I actually seen it. It's great.
It sounds lovely.
Or maybe it's not. I don't know. Because you got to watch the show and find out. But I really do appreciate everybody watching. Chris, thank you so much for being here. Game On. Tell everybody what time Game On comes on. Game On.
Game On is on 89.1 FM every Thursday from 1 to 2, where I talk about video game music, news, reviews, and remixes.
Awesome. Do you have any idea what the show's going to be about next week?
What the show's going to be about next week? No clue.
No clue? Keeps it exciting. But
We happy few.
We happy few? Is that like a new thing?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know video games. But we're going to get off topic. But guys, thank you so much for watching. My name's Isaac Anderson.
I'm Tyler.
And you are?
I'm Chris.
Okay, cool. We're going to get that down pretty soon. Sorry, I always catch you off guard. Stay lovely, guys.